You ever feel completely replaceable? Like, no matter how hard you've worked, someone else could just step in and take your place overnight? Well, that's exactly what happened to me. And the craziest part? They made me train my own replacement. At first, I thought maybe I could handle it professionally, but then a thought crept in, a tiny, dangerous thought. What if I trained him wrong? By the end of this story, you'll see how I turned the tables in ways no one expected. But it didn't come without consequences. I'd been at this company for, 5 years? I knew every process, every client, every tiny thing that kept this place running. I liked my job. Well, I liked it until my manager called me in. "We've decided to restructure," he said, like it was some corporate poetry. "You'll be training your replacement." I laughed, nervously, because that's not even a laughable thing. That's horrifying. The guy was younger, fresh out of college, wide-eyed and smiling like he'd just won the lottery. And there I was, the seasoned employee expected to hand over my years of experience to him. So, I started training him. And I tried, really, I tried, to teach him everything the right way. But the more I explained, the more I realized something. He wasn't paying attention. Not really. He nodded, smiled, but his eyes wandered, and he kept asking the same questions I'd already answered. And then it hit me. I had a choice. I could either swallow my anger, be the good guy, and let this happen, or I could make him pay. Now, I'm not proud of this part, but I did start teaching him the wrong way. Small things, tiny little mistakes, easy to overlook. "Oh yes, you just click that button instead of that one." Or, "No, that's fine, just skip this step. It's optional." Nothing major at first, just enough to cause headaches later. At first, I told myself it was harmless. I told myself it was karma. But deep down, I was curious to see if anyone would notice. As the days went on, I got bolder. I showed him shortcuts that didn't exist, processes that were slightly off. And every time he called me, panicked, I'd feign ignorance or give him an even worse suggestion. It was fascinating, watching someone fumble, struggle, and everyone looking to me for answers. Meanwhile, my manager praised him. "Great progress," they'd say. I had to smile. On the outside, everything looked perfect. On the inside, chaos. Pure chaos. But here's where it got real. One day, he made a major error. A client almost lost a big deal. And guess who got called in? Me. "Why didn't you train him properly?" they asked. The weight of 5 years of experience in a single moment. I froze, because, what do you say? I trained him wrong on purpose? Not exactly HR approved. But here's the thing. The most shocking part wasn't the mistake itself. It was him. Turns out, he had figured out what I was doing. Every little shortcut, every skipped step, he noticed. And instead of freaking out, he adapted. He learned faster because he had to think on his feet. By the end of his training, he wasn't just competent, he was better than me. Smarter, faster, more confident. And the company noticed. My manager, well, let's just say, I realized I'd just trained someone who could completely replace me, but in a way I couldn't control. Irony's a funny thing. I tried to sabotage him,
and instead I pushed him to grow. And me? I was left staring at my desk, realizing maybe I wasn't as irreplaceable as I thought.
So, what did I really learn from all this? First, Karma has a sense of humor, and a sharp one at that. I spent days carefully plotting how to trip him up, only to watch him turn every mistake into an opportunity to learn, adapt, and grow. It made me realize sometimes the universe doesn't punish people the way we think, it teaches them instead. Second, trying to mess with someone else's success, well, that rarely ends well. You think you're in control, but truth is, you're just as vulnerable as anyone else. Every small shortcut I gave him, every little lie or helpful tip I planted, it became a test of character, and he passed in ways I hadn't expected. Third, and this one hit me the hardest, I had to face the truth about myself. My worth wasn't in clinging to this role, this title, or the sense of control I thought I had. My value was in the knowledge I'd built over years, in the work I'd done, in the skills I could carry forward. Holding on too tightly to what I had was only holding me back. I won't lie, it stung. Watching someone else succeed at something I thought was mine, after I deliberately tried to sabotage him, it stung hard. But in a strange, twisted way, it also felt like a wake-up call. Life has a funny way of showing you what really matters. Would I do it again? Honestly, no, not in a million years. But that doesn't mean I regret it entirely, because it taught me something I couldn't have learned any other way. Sometimes, the person you're trying to sabotage ends up teaching you the biggest lesson of all. And that lesson, humility, resilience, and knowing when to step back. So, here's my advice. If you're in a situation like mine, train them well. Train them honestly, because whatever happens, it will always reflect back on you. And who knows, that person might just surprise you and teach you more than you ever thought you could learn.